So here we are back live. The men's opens clash. CQ Bulls taking on the Sydney Mets. So Hooter goes in the background. The Mets will get us underway. We just need a ball. That's something important in the game of touch footy. We need a ball. Here it comes. Nicholas Good will take the tap and get us underway. The Sydney Mets. First possession and opportunity to score much earlier this afternoon. They were very impressive in the men's opens, running out with a very convincing scoreline. Good, Buckley were on fire. Dive over, attempted, doesn't pay off for the Mets on that occasion. Josh Moffat was the man with the ball. Here goes Nicholas Good. The ball is the shift on the outside. That one completes the set. So the Mets, first set is completed. Now the Bulls with the opportunity off their own line. That's good penetration so far. Over to the sub box, looking for that subset transitional play. They've done well over the line. 2 touches remaining here in the count. Over the line now, here we go. Final set, long cutout pass, intercept taken. Madeluzzo Masachi. And I'm joining commentary here. I have my man right next to me. He's going to take over for a little while.
Thanks very much. Luke Heckendorf on the call. Fantastic to be involved with the tournament this year. Adam's been doing the hard yards here in the commentary box, so we'll give him a bit of a hand here as a nice long ball thrown out to Madeluzzo from Luke Kane. Fortunately, couldn't quite hold on to that one. And we will restart with the Bulls coming off their own line. You've seen a couple of these games today, Adam. How do you see these two teams shaping up for the tournament?
Well, these two men's teams have been the most impressive ones that I've seen. A lot of experience in both outfits. The current Australian Men's Opens captain in the Mets team, and one of the old dogs, Dave Zanetti, in the CQ Bulls. He leads by example and is one of the most passionate touch footballers I've ever seen, but a lot of talent right throughout both outfits, young and old. So this game should be an absolute cracker.
As we see the Mets getting over halfway, quick out of half, and this Mets team, they're slick. They're very well drilled by former Australian men's coach Tony Trad as they get on to the last touch. Ball thrown at the link, can't quite get the tap on, so the Bulls once again working it off their own line, working it over to the sub box, and we may see some fresh legs come onto the field as they get over the halfway line. A little bit of a jink into half there, but the Bulls coming back through, getting plenty of metres, working it up the middle of the park as they come on. Referee calls fifth touch, ball's thrown out. I think it's Josh Moffat's just got his mitt to the ball. Unfortunately, he's going to give the Bulls a recount right on their own line. So we'll see what the Bulls can come up with here.
Yeah, last touch there, he had to go for it. He found himself in the middle space and just knocked the ball down. Wasn't able to take the intercept. He would have backed himself, I reckon, to go the length as well.
He's a quick boy.
But the Bulls are on the attack here. Sweeper goes around. That was Zanetti. Picked up the defender, drew him out. Referee was right on the spot there.
Yeah, it looked like he may have got the ball down a little bit, but we're about 40 yards away over here.
Jardel Bob working hard there. It was Zanetti pass. Man across the line. Gets in behind the defensive line. A penalty given, so a touch must have been made by an offside player or held back.
He's been held back. Interesting one there because it looked like he'd almost made the touch before he'd caught the ball. So, interesting call. But Bulls, they'll play on. They'll get another set of 6.
Split-second decision. Those ones are tough to make. I've often said that. There's a lot of contact before players have the ball. And to me, they should be made to release and then regain contact. But referee's there on the spot.
Call's made.
He calls it.
They're coming through. And the Bulls, they've really got a chance here. Sometimes I find when I watch a lot of touch footy, as they dive for the line, I think touch was made there by Paddy.
Luke O'Brien having a crack for his outfit.
And it'd be interesting to actually have a chat to a few of these elite level players after today's play, whether they would actually prefer to have a penalty right on the line or whether they'd actually prefer to have one up around halfway so they can still roll into the line.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get these players who might not be the best static players on the line that really prefer to have a roll in. You get those really good static players like your Willie Bishop and those players who really quick feet, whereas a lot of these players, they're used to those hard driving games, particularly Zanetti and boys like that.
There's a cutout pass attempted. Couple of touches there. Play on, play on. So, touched in flight twice there, I think it was. Tapped on, one each way. We'll see it in replay. But our man, Malcolm Kenny, who scored in the earlier match that I watched, he did a lot of hard work. So here we go. There's that cutout pass. We're just not seeing the touches. But I think both of the Mets players actually got the hand of the ball.
Yeah, it was 2 deflections. Some excellent calls in the middle there from Kim Skelly, who's quite experienced. And let's just take a look at what they call here.
Scotty Buckley.
Nice little ball over the top. Scotty Buckley, the veteran. Still got the skills. Gets that in there, and the Mets hit straight back. That's the one thing you don't want to do after you score a try, is let one straight back in.
Absolutely. So we see it here on replay. Jeez. Anyway.
The wind grabbed it, I think.
Yeah, well, the referee's sole judge of fact. He's let it go, and the score is on the board. 1-1. Buckley gets across the stripe for the Mets as we see Justin Costello come in and shut that one down.
That's a long way down for Justin.
It is. He throws that body around, but he's long and lean, but he throws it around like nothing else. Puts it on the line for his team out there.
Oh, Nick Good up very, very quick there. I think he might have been a bit lucky to get away with that one, but that's the way he plays. He's always on the edge.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes him one of the best players in the game. It's just he's got that work rate of just always being right on the edge of the law, almost a bit like a Richie McCaw style figure in the game. He's always on the edge of it, but he gets through.
Are you saying he cheats?
Absolutely not.
Richie McCaw did.
No, absolutely not.
So here we go. Shifted out wide. Nice unders line. Zanetti across in cover. Gets a touch.
He never gets old, Zanetti. He just keeps getting better. He's like a fine wine. Just keeps getting better and better and better every time. He just does not drop off. You think, he might be ready to give it away. He keeps turning up.
I coached Dave Zanetti in an Australian men's under-20s team 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So he has been in this game for a long time, at the top of the game for a long, long time. And you will not find a more passionate touch footballer than that man, Dave Zanetti. So it's a pleasure to watch him play. And, I hope he keeps playing it for a long time to come, because what he's put back into this sport and what he's contributed to the Central Queensland Bulls and every team that he plays for is nothing short of impressive. So well done to Dave, sticking around in the game as long as you have, mate, and for the contribution you're making to every team that you play in. These young fellas have certainly got a great leader to model their game on.
Here's the Mets. A little bit of a slower play the ball, but they'll get over halfway. Let's see what they can do. You've got Nick Good on there calling the shots. As he calls for the ball, comes down. You've also got Blackwood over there at left link. Step from half, can't get through. Half's court. So the Bulls again working it off the back of their own line. They're taking it over towards the sub box, trying to get some fresh legs on the field once again as they roll over halfway. Nice, quick, fast driving. Fifth touch called by the referee. Long ball out to the link. Fast hands. Couldn't quite get the pass away. It's a good shutdown by the winger. And the Mets will have a chance to really try and bring it back up the other end. Let's see if they bring it over to the sub box or if they just drive it straight up the middle of the park. I think they're going to come over. I think Justin wants to get off the field. Let's see what he does. He hops straight off the field. That's an interesting call. Players has got in the way, but we'll roll through.
Yeah, a little bit of insight there for Nick Good, just letting Kim Skelly, the referee, know exactly what he thought.
You let him know, didn't he?
But Kim just waved him away,
Yeah,
got on with it.
Water off a duck's back for Kim.
Nothing phases Skelly. There's a quick release, interesting release, but got the job done. Nice cover defence there by the Mets. The Mets took on the Sharks, a young Sharks outfit earlier on this afternoon, and they held it with them for a little while. The Sharks put the pressure on the Mets, but then you talked about the experience of Nicholas Good. He really demonstrated why he's one of the best players in the game. He took the game by the scruff of the throat, as did Jack Buckley, and they were ultra impressive. They end up taking the game out 12-4, I believe, the final score. Like I said, a young Sharks outfit, one of the teams in transition, the Sharks, with some of their more experienced players not coming away for this tournament, so it gives an opportunity to the young guys. But the Mets really put them to the sword and showed them, gave them a demonstration in the end of what the Men's Opens game of touch is all about. And it was that man, Nicholas Good, that really steered the ship. Didn't do everything himself. He had plenty of help around him, but he really took control and just dominated field position, put players in space every time he had the ball in hand, and that's exactly what he can do. So we look forward to seeing that here, but at the moment we're all tied up, 1-1. And nearly 10 minutes remaining in the half. We're halfway through.
Mets just receiving a penalty before for a late pass, and they've got another one. few of the players offside. Called by referee Kim Skelly. And we'll see what the Mets can come up with in this set of 6. They're already over the halfway line, so we'll see them try and drive in, see if they can create something. Ball in the hand of Buckley. Comes through, picked up. Interesting ball. They've picked it up. The referees just may have drifted forward. The wind caught that one as well. Just off half. So the Bulls getting away with that one. Mets looked pretty dangerous there. Don't you think so, Adam?
Absolutely, and it's that man Buckley again. He loves that trailing play on the inside. He bagged 2 or 3. He was like a thief in the night in that earlier match I spoke about. That's his play, that inside trail. He certainly runs those unders lines extremely well. And that occasion was picked up for a forward pass. Probably could have been penalised in the first game too, if I'm totally honest. There was one that was a screamer. But, yeah, you've got to be on the spot to take him and then let the referee decide.
Well, the Mets receiving a penalty there. The Bulls trying to drive it out. It's a bit of a push, hard touch from the ball carrier. So a bit of a coach killer handing the ball over when you're in possession. But the Mets, they'll come back on the attack. You've got Buckley there calling the shots in the middle as he will get his hands on the ball just about every touch, I'd say, in this set. Ball's back on the outside.
Nice play.
Just could not hold on to it on the wing. That's some excellent play there.
Little block play, second man. And then the long ball out to the wing, just not able to be controlled by the winger. But beautiful setup. As you said, Buckley looks to get his hands on the ball every play if he can. He's that type of a player. But it's ridiculous when you send Nick Good off and still have Scott Buckley out there calling the shots. So.
Yeah, just the experience, getting the hands on the ball, steers those younger players around the park as the Bulls will get a penalty. But it's the same when you have someone like Dave Zanetti, or on the other side you have Scott Buckley or Nick Good. You've also got James Blackwood, Justin Costello.
Luke Kane. Luke Kane's one of the best men's opens players in the game at the moment, in my opinion. And, yeah, it's great to watch him come out there into his own. It's a nice try for the Bulls. It's Jaden Benbow, I believe, getting the ball down. What's happening here? Wow. Benbow just gives a wry nod, accepts the decision, but I'm pretty sure he thought he scored that one.
No,
I thought he scored that one.
He was jogging back to the sub box, mate.
I'd like to see a replay of that. So we're back live now. Actually can't bring you a replay of that one. We'll have to just allow the viewers at home to pause rewind. As we see, Buckley finds a space, a little show and go there. He doesn't want to run the distance, does he? No.
Hasn't quite got the toe he probably had 5 or 6 years ago.
Yes, absolutely.
The skills are probably better than what they've ever been. Hasn't quite got the toe, but mate, I think they'll come close to scoring here. But no, it's been taken.
Oh, penalty. Penalty. Goes against the Bulls on the intercept there. Buckley straight to the back of the box, sucking in the big ones. And he's earned it. So the Mets still in attack, good in the middle. That's a good release too. Bit of a hard touch there. Referee will just have a quiet word, I would suggest.
So we'll have a look. You got Nick Good. You got James Blackwood in the middle as well. Nick Good's got his hands on the ball.
Knockdown, 6 more. So just pressure after pressure after pressure. That's what the Mets do. They just keep prodding, probing away.
We've got Josh Moffat on the field in number 6. Let's have a look and see what he can create.
Clap of the hands from Lukey. You're impressed by young Mr. Moffat?
Mate, he's a good kid, known him for a little while, and it's exciting to watch. I think he's definitely a talent for the future. And there he is. He's straight in and scores. So
either that or Kim Skelly's a seagull looking for a chip, the way he's throwing those hands around. No, he awards a try there. Referee Skelly was right on the spot as you called it. Let's see how it's set up. Beautifully done. Good with a quick release off the ground. And Moff.
I think Benbow's offside.
Yeah.
And Benbow, he's got the touch. He's offside, but Josh Moffat scores a try.
That's the number of times he threw the arms out there. Referee said, try. So here we go.
It's an interesting one there because they've probably played it on the 7. And traditionally, you would get back 5 metres. He would have been onside.
Yep.
But there, 7 metre rules in play. and didn't make the line.
Didn't make the line,
unfortunately. Try time, and yeah, you got to make it all the way back that 7 metres.
So CQ Bulls on the attack now. The Mets leading 2-1. Penalty for the Bulls. Jack Leonard gets a ball back inside, but a penalty against them this time for a late pass. So that's that pressure just placing on themselves there. They had plenty of opportunity. That was the first touch from the penalty.
See what the Mets can come up with as they get over halfway. And looks like they're just being pipped off the mark or ball down.
Yeah, ball down. There was a couple of play the balls there that looked a little bit dodgy. The second one was picked up. I think they were lucky to get away with the first one.
Bit dicey. And I think it's James Shute, number 16, has got caught terribly out of position there on the wing after that touch. So he's got to be careful. The Bulls didn't see it, but yeah, you've got to be careful with that, making sure you don't get caught behind the play. Long ball out to the wing. And we've got a forward pass.
Forward pass, yeah. Sideline assistant referee there. Gave the signal. Field referee seemed to be happy with it, but the sideline referee, who's sighted very well, I have to say, was right in line with it.
He was in position.
And that's why it's impressive the way the referees work here. Always communicating with each other verbally and non-verbally with signals.
And you can't miss them in these beautiful pink shirts either. Brand new for this tournament. They're going to be rolled out across the country. Delivered by Inferno. And we've got some excellent stuff coming. So pink shirts, they will be coming out to an affiliate to you, rolled out during the year. So exciting stuff to come for the referees around the country.
I might have to get myself one.
Maybe we'll get you out on the field. It's a couple of games we can get you refereeing out on some of the backfields maybe.
Yeah, way back. Out back, I think they'd be considered. But anyway, here you go, the CQ Bulls with the penalty over the halfway line. 3 minutes remaining in the half here. They want to be next to score. Be nice if they go in on equal tries.
I feel like the next try will almost dictate how both teams go into the second half.
Oh, nice little release there. It looked like he was going to go himself, but as he left the ground, he just released it, and both defenders held off. So that was a very impressive try for the CQ Bulls. We'll have a look at that one in replay. So here he goes. There's the release now.
Held onto that ball just long enough.
That was Jardel Bob. Just drew that outside defender in and made the other defender hang off. So a great touchdown there. I believe it was Luke O'Brien that scored.
He's dragged James Blackwood in.
Yep.
Held it just long enough to be able to flick it out for his player to score the try. So some excellent work as Madalitzo catches the ball on the wing.
2 minutes to go here. We're tied up 2-2. The CQ Bulls coming off their line. They'll want to finish this set deep in the Mets territory. That's a good setup there. 3 touches remaining. They're over the halfway line, deep into territory now. So they want to just take the space away here. That's a great one ahead to pick up. Short ball. The dive over. Well, a quick turnaround here. The CQ Bulls have really turned it around. Scored 2 tries in 2 minutes.
Let's take a look at the replay. Nice one-handed pick-up out of dummy half.
Damon Moore, impressive in that early game. As he was just then, he really constructed that touchdown well, or try well, coming out of half. That's the young man on screen.
With 1 minute to go in this half, this is a really big turnaround because I was looking at this thinking the Mets, if they go one more up, that could almost be lights out. But the Bulls have just turned it directly around, and now they're 1 up.
Yeah, with it all to do here for the Mets. Less than a minute remaining. And turn it over now. That's where you want to turn it over, deep down there. They want to force an error here if they can. But so far, the Bulls working the ball out of their own territory pretty well. Here they'll look for that subset transition. Yeah, men in space. Defense up out of the line. There's that error. 7 on.
Yeah, it looks like
probably a couple of touches remaining here for the Mets if they get the ball in play quickly.
think the Bulls has got caught. They might have just had 7 on. One's quickly hopped off the back when they realised.
Yep.
But Kim Skelly on the spot again. Picks it up, and the Mets might have 1 or 2 touches to play.
Oh, he dives under. That was the final play of the half with the penalty given, so we'll play the penalty out. That's Luke Kane. Geez, he got to get the ground quick there. Even threw the dummy to me in commentary. So here we go. Kane finishes off unders line. Doesn't come off. Might have caught one in the throat. Goody. Yeah, not happy. So half time. The Bulls lead 3-2 over the Sydney Mets here after a good comeback. 2 tries in 2 minutes for the CQ Bulls to take the lead just before half time. I look forward to the second half. This game has been a cracker.
When I'm travelling, I love having plenty of room. Did you know Accor has great apartment brands like Mantra, Peppers and Art Series? Get the luxury of space in amazing locations all over Australia and New Zealand. Great offers too. Live limitless with Accor.
Searching for your next kind of wonderful? Look no further than Mantra Hotels. Visit mantrahotels.com to book your next coastal, city, or international getaway at discounted rates. Mantra Hotels, proud partners of Touch Football Australia. Two minutes, players and referees. 2 minutes. One minute, players and referees. 1 minute. Players and referees ready.
Back live here, the second half of the men's opens game. CQ Bulls and the Sydney Mets. The Bulls lead 3 tries to 2. The Bulls get us back underway. Damon Moore takes the tap off. Here is at half now. Moore, quick dish off to the left, dive over. Tempted. Touch called. Damon Moore recently named to make his debut in the Australian Men's Opens team at the upcoming Trans-Tasman Series. Take place in Newcastle on the Anzac Day weekend. We invite everybody to come down and watch as the best in Australia take on the best of New Zealand in the Trans-Tasman Series.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting to be up there over the long weekend in January to see the Youth Trans-Tasman take place in Newcastle. Sports Ground number 2, excellent venue. And if you are anywhere near Newcastle around the Anzac Day long weekend, I guarantee you will not miss out if you head down there. Free event, plenty to do. Check out some great touch footy as well as the
Buckley
Mets.
finds Madalitzo, Masachi out wide, and the Mets strike back early in the second half. We're tied up 3-3.
And that's 2 of the players you'll see if you head to Newcastle on Anzac Day. You'll see Buckley playing, and you'll also see Mads playing, Madalitzo, 2 of Australia's greatest players at the moment. You'll see them out there running around, along with these guys like Nick Good, James Blackwood, and plenty more who are on show over the day. And you'll see them all at Newcastle Anzac Day.
You said if you're close, I reckon even if you're not close, just get there. Whatever it takes.
Beautiful city as well.
It is.
Almost as good as Coffs Harbour, where we are right now.
Yeah, we don't mind taking it to a good venue, our sport of touch football.
There's plenty of venues in New South Wales. There are plenty of great coastal venues, Coffs Harbour and Newcastle, just 2 of them.
As the Mets go back on the attack. Pushing up to the halfway line, coming to their set. Their sub-box, my apologies. Looking to sweep onto the field as they do in numbers. There's your man. Moffat takes the ball hard into the line. Nice little release. Quick hands. Off the knees. Good pass to Moffat, flicks back inside. That one doesn't find the mark. Shooty puts that one down. Tough ask to take that one for James, but
Mate,
you know.
if you can get your hand to it, you should be able to catch it.
And he's a hard taskmaster on himself, James. He's an outstanding winger.
He's played at every level. NRL Touch Premiership, NTLs, State Cups. One of those guys who just loves getting out,
Knows how
getting
to get
involved.
the job done. Turns the ball back inside this time. Quick release. That was beautiful hands from the CQ Bulls. All clear. We'll even give that signal ourselves from the box. That was impressive.
I reckon the Mets even touched this ball in flight. Let's take a look at the winger. Balls comes in, passed out.
So Harry Griffin gets the first pass away.
And
the
it
quick
was.
hands.
It was touched. It was touched on the wing by Shooty.
Jaden Benbow, beautiful pass, picks up. Braden Haggerty to score in the corner. He's another young fella that knows how to get the ball across the line. Braden, he has plenty of pace. On that occasion, didn't have to go the distance, just needed to take the pass, and he did so very well. And we're back out 4-3 now.
Let's see what the Mets can do now. They've got that reset just about 7 metres off the Bulls line. You see Moffat, Buckley, Good, all on there trying to create something.
Little split play. Moffat went past the ruck. Buckley slides in. Short ball, and then the change of direction for the cutout pass. Didn't come off on that occasion, but a nice setup. Always thinking the Mets. They're very well coached, as you said, Tony Trad. The most decorated Australian Men's Opens coach ever. Has come back to the Mets where he first started. And you can see his mark applied to this team. Nice ball. Again outside.
Oh, he just put that ball down. I think he didn't realise he had the link had more time than he thought.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, he was in a little bit of space. So young Bailey essay there. Just putting that one down with the line open. But you're right, sometimes it's just about the timing. But if the player's unselfish like he appeared to be then, probably thought he had to give it.
Well, opens it up again for the Mets.
Quick hands, flick on.
Looks good
Beautiful
to me.
skills. Not sure who that flick on was, but that was impressive. Let's have a look at it. So skills across the park. Paddy Coelho. Beautiful pass. Not sure who you picked up out there.
Some excellent play. I think it was there. It was Tim Stripolopoulos.
Soteropoulos.
My mistake. There's plenty of vowels in that name. Just like I'm sure there's plenty of tries scored for him over the week as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a beautiful finish. It was a very skillful pass. Not easy to catch, so he did very well there to get it across the line. Tied up 4-4. 5.5 minutes gone in the second half.
We've got number 11 coming onto the field, Chris Barakat.
Yeah, swept on nicely there. Good pace. That one's off the head of the support player.
Yeah, almost off the back there.
Yeah. It all counts. Would have been play on if he had caught it. So now the Bulls up over the halfway line. There's Hegarty, gets the ball down. So on they come now in numbers. It's a little bit stunted there on that occasion. Oh, Masachi.
He's quick.
But so is Benbow. And so is Hegarty. Oh, that was a good release in time.
Some excellent work by Hegarty.
James Shute. Yeah, Hegarty's one of the fastest players I think I've seen in the game for a little while. He just pins his ears back and he only knows one way, and that is fast and straight. So that was good pressure defensively from Hegarty. Also Benbow on the inside. I think him coming across in cover from the inside was what kept the pressure on the attacker and gave Hegarty enough time to come across in cover the way he did. But James Shute there picked up a pretty difficult pass in the end to maintain possession.
So I think we've got 2 penalties on the line. The next penalty we'll see, if there is another one in this set, we'll see one of those Bulls players pulled out and put behind the dead ball line. 3 penalties in a row. Well, we'll hope it doesn't get to that.
It's happened a couple of games so far that I've seen. These Mets guys look like they're talking on the telephone, trying to shield their lips with the ball. There it was. Didn't need to have a man drop behind the line. So the Mets reclaim the lead with that try.
The Mets coming out, making sure that they have scored the first and the second of the tries in the second half.
Jaden Ashby.
It's an excellent try coming through. James Blackwood's happy about it. And why wouldn't you be? They've come into half-time, probably got a little bit of a spray from their coach.
Sweep and play from the Bulls. Quick turnaround. Gets the ball out wide. That's a beautiful pass as well. That'll find Bailey Assay. Gets his hands on that one. Put one down earlier with a little bit of space, but that time he had to work fairly hard for it. And gets the ball across the line. We're all tied up, 5-5.
Bulls hitting straight back, making sure that
have a look at this pass here. Left to right. 30-metre pass. Finds a man right on the spot. Bailey Assay gets the job done on that occasion.
Yeah, the Bulls making sure that the Mets don't stretch their lead at all. They're making sure they've clawed it straight back, and we're locked up as the Mets will come on the attack, and they'll try and hit straight back. Make sure that they can try and pull that lead back, ensure that they don't allow the Bulls to get back-to-back tries.
Yeah, I said in the lead up to this one, this was going to be an absolute cracker, and it's certainly demonstrated that so far. 5-5. 11 minutes remaining. Anybody's game. Sachi, little flick pass for Buckley coming around.
Touch and pass called by both referees. Some good teamwork there from both Kim Skelly and our referee in the middle right now, Campbell Muir.
Was that on an earlier pass or on the Sachi
the
flick?
second to last, I think.
Yeah.
Touch and go, so some good teamwork as the Bulls.
So there's the Bulls driving towards their box too. That's good penetration. They're up over the halfway line. Deep now into enemy territory. They'll regroup here. Damon Moore, ball in hand, quick off the ground, Damon. But that one was judged forward. Interesting.
Well, lucky that was called forward because Luke Kane got back about 4 metres after that touch. So
Yep.
I've got a feeling he would have been called offside. Unfortunately, Barracats put the ball down. Dummy half. It is a little bit boggy over this side.
Yeah, this is the wet corner here.
We did see one of the Scorpions coaches earlier today, Newt Trin, from my home club in Hornsby. He's gone to give a water bottle to one of the girls on the Scorpions side and just slipped straight over. That's how slippery it is. You don't even have to be running over there. It's slippery, plenty of water over the week leading into the competition. It's actually dried up fairly well as well.
Oh, the field's done amazing given the amount of water we've had up here. And just this morning, the downpour we had prior to our first games, the fields have held up amazingly well, as they usually do here in Coffs Harbour. We can bring rain to a town, touch football. As we see the Bulls go on the attack. Holds that one up, flick on, doesn't go the distance.
Just didn't have enough power on that flick on. They were in. If that had gone to hand, we would have been seeing the Bulls regain the lead.
Danger signs for the Mets, but didn't. So they live to fight another day. Good drive there. And nice transition. Play back to Moffat. Goody taking control there.
A bit of a traffic controller pointing all the boys where to go.
Puppet master. Nice shutdown. That'll close out that set. But they're where they want to be. They're deep into the territory for the Bulls. There's a bit of confusion there. But Zanetti will just take control of the game here.
Plenty of good work happening out between these two sides. They're both two tough teams. Really good running games.
Pace out of half.
Great running games between these two teams, and we're seeing it end-to-end, 5-all.
Zanetti draws the 6 more.
Costello just couldn't help but put the hand out.
Yeah, that happens when you're tall, long and lean. You try to get those gadget arms up there.
Didn't put the magic spray on his hand to help the ball stick to it. And the Bulls have another set. See what they can come up with out of half. Dives for the line. And
gets there.
we've got to try.
Damon Moore, the youngster we talked about making his Australian debut at the upcoming Trans-Tasman, shows what it's all about there and why he's been selected. It's been impressive. The ball in hand, he's always dangerous around that ruck. That's where he does his best work too, whether it's throwing the cutout pass or getting the ball to the ground quickly. He has put it all on show here today already in this tournament, so looking for big things for Damon.
You saw the gap that opened up, dives through, slams the ball down, puts his team back in the lead, 6 tries to 5. We've got just over 7 minutes to go, so there's still plenty of time, still anyone's game. The Mets.
This could be anything this game. It could blow out. It could be as tight as we can see it here. It's one of those games you just don't know what's going to happen. Big release, intercept taken. Our man
Shooty shuts it down. Intercept, always dangerous. And you also get the 0 touch now off the intercept. So ball's taken off an intercept. The next touch is a 0 call. Really adds a bit of excitement in there. Players want to take that intercept and get that 0 touch.
Always interested to see James's facial hair as well. I see he's sporting a bit of a goatee as well as his usual moustache.
Oh, he never lets us down.
Very impressive facial hair. We see CQ. Geez, that looked like a no touch. But not pulled up by the referee. Oh, something's happening here. Ah, maybe it was.
Yeah, he held onto it. Ashby really trying to get that ball, almost ripped it out of his hands. The Mets, they'll roll through over halfway.
Whoop. Oh.
He just got caught in the ruck.
Yeah, relieving call there. Whether he...
I think he was quite lucky with that one, but
very lucky.
We'll take it. Is what the Mets are probably thinking. We'll take that one.
As they roll on back into enemy territory here, the Mets good around the ball. Sweep it goes. It's your man again, isn't it?
Yep, Josh Moffat reaching under. Can't quite get all the way through.
Puppet Master again pulling the strings, drawing in Costello, gives it off to Moffat. Moffat goes for the dive over, doesn't get there on that occasion. So they're just probing, pushing away there, the Mets players. And always at the helm is Nicholas Good. Penalty. That's a bit of a reliever.
He might have to start acting classes after that one. He's just dropped the ball. But does what he needs, gets the penalty for his team.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Bulls can come up with. Plenty of talk. May have put that ball down a little early, but the refs have called play on.
Tap on. Called that one forward, so the pass from Damon Moore was deemed forward there. The tap on back on the inside was fine.
The Mets will shift it over towards their sub box. Nick Good out of half. Gets it over. Nick Good looks like he'll stay on the field a little bit longer as he shuffles over to the sub box for a well-earned breather. And the Mets working it up the middle. See if they can come up with something. Fifth touch called by the referee. Buckley with the ball, goes left, goes right. Referee calls play on. And let's have a look and see what they've come up with here.
Ball was away there.
So the referees will have a chat. And let's have a look for you guys at home to work out what has happened. Touch is made. Buckley with the ball. Right, left.
Buckley's going for the offside there. The play on called, so he's looking for the advantage. And then the release of the pass goes to ground.
Let's have a look.
Doesn't go to ground, sorry, but he looks like he loses possession.
Just
there
bobbled it as he's put it over.
So Scott Buckley is claiming the offside, no advantage. The penalty should go back to them, and it has.
That's what it's done.
So the referee there talks about the secondary grab that I wasn't sure who it was that put on Jack Buckley.
I've got no issue with that process. The
No, not
referees,
at all.
they've had a chat and they've come up with the correct decision instead of making a spur of the moment,
There's
a
a quick
heated
hands,
decision.
Masachi in the corner. That's all it took. So the decision, we both agree the right decision was made there after the consultation process. And that's all it took for the Mets. Quick hands, you can see here, Buckley gets it off the ground. And Moffat quick hands release. And nice play by the outside middle. Finds a link, and then all it is moving the ball through your hands to Masachi.
With the one-handed, classy put down.
Unmarked in the corner.
It's a classy player, Mads.
6-all. 3.5 minutes remaining, or thereabouts. CQ will get an opportunity. Mets will probably get another opportunity. Intercept.
You won't catch him. Look at him go. Ball in one
I don't know
hand.
about our man here. No. The long strides of that young man right there. Mr. Costello goes the length. We talked about, will they get another opportunity? They certainly will, but they turned it on out of the opportunity that the Bulls had.
Yeah.
The length of the field intercept, that's not his first time he's done that. That is for sure and for certain. But now the Bulls, they'll tap off.
Have a
See
look,
what they can
have a
do
look at
here.
the size of his mitt as well. He just grabs it and in one hand takes off. There was no way anyone was catching him. I think he was almost slowing down a little bit. The number 14 from the Bulls gave a really good chase. Jacob Marinin. For the Mets.
There's more. Goes to turn around. Looks like he could have pulled up a little bit there on a hemi.
A little twinge.
Yeah. Or it could be just a cramp.
These players will play up to 2 or 3 games in a day. Plenty of running. Plenty of fast.
So turns it over there. That was the end of that set.
Let's have a look at what the referees are calling.
No, nothing doing there.
No, just a little restart. Reset it up and let's keep going. And the Mets one up with about a minute to go in this game. So they will be looking to get over that line.
Came with the ball in hand. Buckley at half. That's a dangerous combination right there. Dangerous for the Bulls. The Mets will be happy. There's Buckley with the ball. Goes for the long one. Masachi taps it back inside. Good cover from the Bulls there. Luke O'Brien coming across in cover. Makes a touch. So quick tap taken by the Bulls. They need to get the ball in play quickly. Less than a minute remaining. They're one behind on the scoreboard. They won't be happy with that. There's Captain Zanetti taking it into the middle of the third of the field. Ball back inside. Quick shift once again. Defensive player loses his footing, creates that extra space. There's a couple of touches remaining in this set. Zanetti turns it back inside. 6 more. Buckley knocks it down and then puts a foot into the ruck. Yeah, forced substitution. That's just silly play by a man of his experience. He's going to leave his team short because he won't get to the box. This is an illegal substitution happening right there. Half-time siren goes. Quick hands. Masachi gets in and knocks it down. So that is all she wrote. The Mets take that one out. It's a big finish there, Luke.
Yeah.
The Mets take it out 7-6, but plenty happening in that final 30 seconds.
There's a couple of things. We'll go over them really quickly. The way I've analysed it is Scott Buckley's knocked the ball down, just slowed it up a little bit. And then, as you can see, Nick Good, experienced play, but has held the player, slowed it down to ensure the Bulls couldn't get another set of 6. The referee's done the right thing. Put him up in the bin, put him in the sin bin. Unfortunately, we can't stop the clock in this tournament. We've got 20-odd fields running. Referees have done everything right. Unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
And Masachi comes in, knocks the ball down. That's all she wrote. Game over. Well done to the Mets. 7-6 eventual winners over the CQ Bulls. We look forward to some more matches. We have 2 remaining today. Women's Open's coming your way now. City Scorpions taking on the Brisbane City Cobras.
If you're an average bloke like me, your fridge is going to look something like this. Not much in there. So I'm going to show you my Indomie hacks. Breakfast. First, you need a lot of Indomie. Then you'll need capsicum, rocket, mushrooms, coriander. Scramble those eggs. Boil some water, drop the noodles in. You know the drill. There you go. I'll follow up tomorrow. Here's Indomie Hack 2, lunch. Left work early,